Hey, Brooke, thank you so much for joining us on this week's episode of Face to Face.
Good to be here. I'm excited.
You had an amazing first season as a bow. You killed it in indoor, and then y'all were getting ready to start sand, which was kind of a huge reason of why you transferred to UH, but Auntie Rona kind of, stopped things and whatnot. So what's just that experience been like for you, transferring, having a good first season, especially in indoor, so excited to start sand, and then it kind of just stopped?
So first, the transferring situation scared me, but I'm very glad that I got to because this has been such an amazing experience for me to be able to come back here, play for UH, like we're the H on jersey. Yeah, so we were gearing up to go to Florida when we got the news that our season was canceled. It was very devastating for all of us, for sure. But I'm just glad that I got to have the chance to even play on the beach team and get to know the girls. So that was a good experience. Definitely wish we could have kept going because I honestly think we would have won a national championship for sure because we had a great group of girls.
Yeah.
So it was definitely devastating, but it's okay. Well, things happen, so
Right. Sometimes life just hits you, unfortunately. But a lot of seasons have been canceled in many different sports, obviously, and football's starting up, so there's a little bit of hope. But what's been keeping you busy and just your spirits high during this time?
So I live with a couple of my teammates this year, and pretty much all we've been doing was we're like, hey, we're gonna get on a workout program since everything's locked down, and we're gonna all work out together. So we've been waking up early before class, and we've just been running around our neighborhood trying to get cardio. So running a lot of hills, definitely doing workouts at home, trying to do as much as possible. Yeah, we picked up surfing, so that's a new thing we've been doing.
Nice.
So yeah, just trying to stay sane during this time.
Yeah.
Waiting for workouts to start again.
For sure. Enjoying the island and all this free time that you now have. For those of people who don't know, your dad was actually and is an alumni of UH. And so what's that been like kind of representing the same school as him?
It's really cool. Honestly, growing up, I'd never thought I'd be able to play where my dad played. So that's definitely awesome to follow like the family legacy and everything. He's just super stoked. Like when I got the chance to come here, they're really excited. They're like, "Oh my God, we're gonna visit you all the time." And it made them happy, made me happy. So yeah, I'm just happy to be able to experience what my dad got to experience because he'd always tell like super great stories about Hawaii and like how fun it was. So I'm glad to be here for sure.
Yeah, and we talked about your dad, and your mom also played at Hilo and then overseas, and so both are very well-known volleyball players. So what's the best piece of advice they've given you as you've kind of made your own path?
Pretty much growing up playing, they've always told me just to work hard for what you want. Obviously, never give up. Big piece that they always told me was that height doesn't matter because I'm very short for what I do for the most part. But yeah, they just kept saying you got like if you want it, go get it and just keep fighting. So that was definitely the greatest advice.
Yeah, and you kind of talked about your height. I mean, you're an outside hitter, but you also say that you could be a libero and you've dabbled in setting. So like being such a well-rounded player, and I know in other interviews you've kind of talked about doing whatever your team needs you to do. What's that like? Where did that mindset come from of just being open to whatever the team needs?
It definitely helps that I've had experience in all of, I guess, more comfortable. But overall, it was just kind of, I guess, going from high school to college, you kind of had to grow up and really step back and take a look at like your team. And like now it's for real for like NCAA. And it's just like, okay, well, I want to go to a Final Four. Like I want to win a national championship.
Right.
So what's the best way we're going to do this? Like, how can I help? Like, as long as like, just got to help the team get there. So in any way possible.
Your family is super surrounded around volleyball. You played basically your whole life, and so have your parents. And so what's something that the game of volleyball has kind of given you that you've like really never expected?
Um, so yeah, growing up, I didn't think I was gonna be able to play D1. I'm super grateful to have the experience, and I just feel like it was definitely great that I got to play at two schools. I got to like live in two different areas, experience a lot. That was amazing, especially for like personal growth.
Yeah.
Definitely the biggest takeaway would be making the friends that I got to make, playing on two sports, just the amount of girls and how like it was great being able to get to know them, the coaches, because they're all wonderful and definitely gonna be my friends for life. So that's good.
The relationships that you form are super long lasting, and yeah, like you've said, the experience that you've had, being able to play two sports at two schools, that's just so incredible and so cool, especially because you've definitely contributed to both teams, both schools, so that's really awesome. A little fun question. So you're obviously talented in volleyball, but a lot of people also seen you or known you for your like long hair and how pretty it is. So would you ever, a lot, trends and things happen and people just chop off their hair sometimes. Would you ever do that?
No, I don't think so. Last time I bobbed my hair really short was like 8th grade, and yeah, since then it's been long, and I've just kept it. Maybe later in life, I definitely will cut it short.
Yeah.
But yeah, the most I've done so far during this quarantine is my roommates, we tried to dye our hairs and it went bad. We're bored.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the most I'll go.
Okay, for sure. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Brooke. It was so nice getting to know you better and just a little bit more of what you've been up to.
And thank you for having me. Had a great time.
Yeah,
so thank you.
Well, everyone, thank you so much for tuning in to this week's Face to Face. I'm Keeling Fukushima. That was Brooke Van Sickle, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.